Hey, Above Life channel. Welcome to our Tailgate Eclipse edition. This is our Monday video for April 8th, 2024. Hello, people. Hello. And if you are watching this and it is way past that eclipse time, no worries. There will be a lot of common themes, I suspect, in this conversation today. And you should be able to take some of the nuggets of the energy with you. Now, through the entire month of April, we have a lot of energy stuff that is impacting us, like the eclipse that we're having today, but also there are things like solar flares that are happening. There's also that Mercury retrograde thing. And there's also just a lot of stuff going on in the world and in our own personal lives. So, bringing the energy of the eclipse stuff that's kind of being sensationalized, which is fine because it brings attention to what really, really matters, which is our practical application of energy. And you know that I am an intuitive life and energetic coach, and the work that I do is reading the energy, basically. That's the kind of psychic work that I do. And we all can do that. You and I are empaths. That's why you're here on Above Life channel. That's why you found my work. That's why you watch my work. What does that mean? I know empath is a buzzword, isn't it? It totally is right now. Highly sensitive person. What about clairsentience? That's like the psychic or intuitive gift of sensing or feeling through emotions and in your heart space. So, what it basically means is you are in tune. You're in tune and in touch, and you pick up on other people's vibes. Okay. So, however, you've entered into and found your way here on Above Life channel, you're welcome to be here. And thank you for being here and hanging out with us. So, I've actually been a psychic and an intuitive coach for 20 years. Yeah, actually, well, technically, I've been a psychic longer than I've been a life coach because I got certified as life coach in I think 2005 or six. And I recognized and discovered and started using my psychic gifts, particularly my psychic gift of sight, clairvoyance, in after the death of my father. So it was 2 years after that, 2004. So if you're new here, there's a lot of info. Check out the About Me. I have a playlist here for that. If you want to know about my work, the way I work, how I'm psychic, the services I offer, go ahead and check out those playlists. All right, so let's welcome in. Hi, hello in the chat. Thanks for popping in. I know it's a little bit different. It's noon Central Standard Time, and the eclipse is happening in the afternoon here in my time zone. And what am I doing for that? Well, I plan to walk outside on the land. I might go to the lake. I'm not sure if I want to be around the water element, although that is my chosen element for 2024. As the year of the empath, I'm choosing to work with the water element, which does help with the heart and emotion and balancing of that. Also, it's such a divine feminine medicine. It really is something that I am welcoming more into my life because I've been a fire bearer for most of my psychic awareness time, you might want to say. So I work a lot with fire element, and we will use fire today to release some things because it is solar energy that we're tapping into a bit, right? And the lunar is water, solar is fire. So the balance of the two is the earth element in between, which is exactly what the eclipse is about, right? So we're dealing with three elements today: earth and water and fire, and then of course air, and then light, bringing in the element of light. So for me, there's 5 elements. For you, there might be 4, whatever works for you. So that's what I intend to do, is be outside for a bit while that is going on. It's actually cloudy here and I'm not in the direct path, so I won't technically see or not see it or notice it that way. But energetically and metaphysically, already feeling it. Like, things are so off. They've been so off for this whole last week. I mentioned that yesterday in Sunday Morning Coffee. And so you may or may not be noticing those things because we all experience energy differently. So it's totally fine. Okay. If you're feeling different things or you're not feeling it at all, It's totally fine. It's where you're at on your path. It's where you are in alignment, and there's no right or wrong here, okay? It's just different is just different. That's fine. That's totally just a thing, okay? So part of what I'm going to tap into some of the energies that are coming through that lens of that eclipse energy, which is ironic to say that because as a clairvoyant, I see so much that now working with my heart so strongly as probably my lead or one of my co-lead, um, with full recognition for me that it is a very, very powerful part of me now that I we can't see or look at the eclipse, but we can sure feel and sense it. Yes, and we have been. So what does it represent? What does it mean? We're going to tap into that energy today as we're talking. This is a little tailgate. It's going to be a little fun. I hope it's going to be a little fun. We're going to have we'll be a little silly. I hope. Maybe we'll be silly. I hope so. Um, Maybe not silly. That's maybe not the right word. I don't want I don't want us to be so lost or drowned it out into some serious intensity energetically, because there's a lot of that. And I will tell you, full disclosure, I was trying to find my pom poms. I could not find them. I have some beautiful pom poms with like the ones with the little bar baton in between them and stuff from competitions and stuff. I have those somewhere. I have no idea where they are. I should have planned better, but I couldn't find them. And so, but I would have, because I would have been like tailgating, woo, go team, go team. So what I want to do is bring in an energy of team for today for a conversation. So if you think of your favorite sports team or some kind of a group that you belong to that has like a team energy of it, like a supportive energy of it, like could be a circle of friends, it could be a book club, it could actually be, your pickleball group or whatever it is. Okay. Like that kind of vibe. Think about team. And I want you to feel for yourself how you show up in your energetic of team, like how you can show up differently when you feel like we're part of a team. So today we are Above Life Channel, part of our own team, which we always are anyway. There's a supportive group here. There's a web of connection and energetically. But during this eclipse, that's part of the grounded centerpiece, okay, is team. How you are connected in teams, how you are connected to groups, how you are identified with groups, and the way you feel then from those groups, what you receive, how it charges you, how it supports you in your life, how it gives you, fills your cup. It doesn't have to be something massive and dramatic, like, oh my gosh, I feel so good when I'm done. It doesn't have to be like that. It's the awareness of the connection to a group, to a supportive web, to others who are in human body, because the human body and the human connection is mission critical. Okay. That is really important for you. And then that is the place where you can have the most fun. I know, I know. Spiritual stuff is fun, right? Archangels are great, cool deities, ascended masters, saints, totem animals, our ancestors. They can be so cool to hang out with. But the truth is, after you have a massively awesome experience of connection with your spirit guides, or metaphysically with some new skill or tool or herb, like your new incense that you got, or yeah. Ooh, or my sage that I have for my yard, or some new oil that I have, that kind of thing. When I get that stuff, I'm excited to share it. So you see, you need to have webs, groups, places where you are in a team. Now, you don't have to be physically sitting across the table to be part of a team. Like, look at us. We're a team. We're such a team. Team Above Life channel. We are a team here. We are connected. We are holding that space while we are growing and evolving in our own unique ways. And each of our unique ways are respected and accepted here as just the grounded baseline, accepted here. Okay. And part of the what we can learn from this eclipse stuff here right now is that you are not here to be a human person that just bumps through life dabbling in a few fun things here and there. It's supposed to be this opportunity. Like, your soul came here because you have an opportunity to connect, to have experiences through relationships, through sharing. Okay, sharing an experience together, or an interest or a passion. And when you have these new experiences that are metaphysical and you find this great new oil, you want to share it with somebody, you want to tell somebody. So you go to your group online that is working on intuition and you tell them about this, or you tell one of your friends that does homeopathic work, or you tell your massage therapist friend, or what have you. See, we've got to be more in touch with how we are connecting and sharing our metaphysical excitement, our spiritual support that we get through these cool things that we're using, utilizing, and working with. Okay. So I think that is a big one of the big, I think, not even takeaways, but awarenesses, okay, for this eclipse. Our foundation is in a team, okay? And if you feel like, well, I don't really have anything because all I do is work, or I don't really have anything because I've been so, you're like, oh my God, B, I have been so depressed for like a year and a half. You're like, I can't get out of the house. I work from home. I haven't been taking that good of care of myself. And I just don't feel connected. I feel isolated. Yeah, it's because you're so empathic. It's because you've gotten to a place where you have wanted to cocoon and protect yourself. And this is just the awareness that it's okay to take care of yourself in those ways that feel right to you. But if you're questioning if it's right to you, then it's time for you to try something different or introduce something new. And that doesn't mean go out and join a club, but it could mean, as you're reading a book, maybe you join an online group about that book, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Where you don't have to actually participate, but you can like read the posts or connect if you choose to, or that kind of a thing, like at your own pace, kind of a thing. Because we have internet, because we have this ability to connect virtually, we can try new experiences out and not have a whole lot to lose by doing that. And so maybe if you're feeling like that, maybe it is time for you to reach out and try something different, introduce something new. Okay. I know that I am. And I want to talk also. I want to always, like I always do, always do, mention support systems and networks, like a great social worker, a therapist, a counselor, some good naturopathic practitioners like acupuncturists, chiropractors, herbalists, or Ayurveda folks, or there's so many different kinds of things in the holistic realms that can support you. Also, life coaches. Maybe you belong to a church, and so there's like a deacon or a pastor or somebody that you feel comfortable connecting with or getting support from. Maybe there's a support group there about grief, and that's really the issue, right? Maybe, just maybe, part of what this solar eclipse is, and I'm being a little facetious, obviously, because I know that part of this solar, or this this eclipse event is about that collective grief, and it's about shedding it. It's about releasing it. So it's about the energies of I have my oils right here for that. I have my release oil. I have this oil for an archetype of the Queen of Death, which I've talked about before. It's really about grief and the transitions in our lives, the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a cycle. It's like in the book Women Who Run with Wolves. It's like the skeleton woman, the life, death, life cycle. So that's an archetypal energy, but that's exactly where we're at right now. That's exactly where we're at. Okay. We are ending a cycle. And it's not, I've heard other folks also talk about the eclipse as it's not this massive ending or this major, like, oh my gosh, it's not oh, how do I say this? No, it's not about the endings. They were talking about, it's not about focusing on manifesting. That's what I wanted to say. It's not a time for manifesting right now. It's not. It's just not. It's not. It's a time to sit in your mud. Sit in the mud. You might want to get some waders on or get comfortable because we're going to be in the mud for a bit. And it's okay. Some people call that a shadow. Some people call it shadow work. Some people call it healing your wounds or dealing with your trauma or whatever. I'm not suggesting that you have to miraculously be healed, but we're just going to collectively, as a team, we're going to sit in the mud. Okay. And when there's somebody else doing it with you, you don't feel so lonely, do you? Yeah. You don't have to feel lonely. Mm-mm. No. And I know there's an amplification of depression energy, of feeling like you haven't done a good job reflecting on your life and feeling like you should be farther along. You should be doing this. You're not doing that. You're not taking care of your body. I know, because I'm feeling all those themes myself. So I know that a lot of those things may be coming up for you. Okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm just going to validate that. There's nothing wrong with you. You're what we call human. How about that? Even though you're listening to me talking about intuitive stuff, energy stuff, metaphysical stuff, you're still human. I'm still human. We are here having an experience that's shared. We are on the team of human right now. Even if you don't want to be on that team, you're on that team. Maybe that's what the term take one for the team means. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Well, let's use some of the sage here that I have, and we'll do a little bit of a light, smoky essence here to help to kind of soften the resistance that we might have, or soften the fatigued, heavier energy that you might be experiencing. Ooh, it smells good. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to use the fire element to use the air element. So we got fire and air working together. We're just going to have this come in. Like the shaman uses the smoke, right? Just a little. All right. You can go ahead and breathe that in if you'd like. That air element exhaling out. Yeah. Do you feel that? It has been really hard to be in the body right now. My whole week has been out of the body. And I'm like, okay, I think this is an energy thing. I don't think I'm sick. Am I sick? Have you guys been going through this? Am I sick? Do I have a cold? I mean, why? What's going on? What's with all the electricity in my chest and my heart and the weird beats and the stuff happening and showing up here? I'm like, is this a physical thing? And then, well, I mean, granted, for me, it could be, obviously, right? And just like you probably have some things that you're like, oh, maybe it's a physical thing, but like the light headache I've had all week. And does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? A little bit of cold-like symptoms. It could be the change of seasons. There's all these reasons like, okay, let's be rational about this. Okay, it's this or it's that. Or that. It's probably if you've had stomach stuff, if you've had headaches, if you've had sore throats, if you've got caught a virus or a flu or anything. This week in particular, it may literally be your body supporting you to clear out stuff. Okay. So it's a good idea to keep yourself hydrated. Don't eat heavy foods if you can help it. The less processed, the better. Like, and even think about the way you eat your veggies and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to eat raw because it's rough on the body. Things that are gentle, like soup and just really gentle, like really clean foods if you can help it, or at least think about that when you're making dinner. Okay. Don't just do the starches and the meat, to do some veggies, just some veggies, do something, make an effort. Maybe you're just having green tea. Maybe that's your contribution to support your body, whatever works. Okay. But there really is this challenge right now, I think, to allow our bodies to support us and accept us. So let's be on our own team, right? Because there is an inner team here. All right. Your brain, it tries to be captain all the time, and it's not. It is not. It is a co-captain scenario. And the heart sometimes is like feeling left out. It's sitting on the bench because every time it gets in the game, it's like always gets injured. So we're just going to wait a little bit, even though it's a great player. And then the soul, you got your spirit there that's like, come on, we can do anything, everybody, giving the pep talks and encouraging us and getting us, for some reason, getting us to get back out there and just be really hopeful and optimistic about stuff, and just really shows up, is so dedicated. And then the body, our bodies, embodiment, being human is the expression through the physical body. And if you're not happy with your body, it's because your mind has been running the show too long, where it's overriding the body. And it's trying to get you to feel better by eating a bunch of crap like sugar or caffeine or whatever, because it keeps the body moving. It keeps the body moving. The mind focuses on productivity and results, and the body focuses on presence, being present, showing up. And the body is so dedicated that it wants to be there for you all the time. And it does a miraculous things, and it can heal amazing. Like, you guys know, if you know my story from October 2023, you know I should be dead. Like, quite literally, I was dead. And I'm not. 6 months later, I'm right here. It's almost 6 months to the day, actually. And I just the body is miraculous. It tells us that we have warning signals that are built in that we ignore a lot because the mind is so busy trying to be productive and action oriented and behavioral based that we just eh, the body doesn't get the attention it needs until it's in crisis. Does that sound familiar? Hmm? Until you're in crisis. Yeah. Same with mental health. You don't go to the counselor until you're in crisis sometimes, right? Unless you have a system in place, a structure with support, which is hard to do when you're in crisis, by the way. Do you know how long it took me to fill out that freaking paperwork? I had it said 27 forms and an online system that I had to figure out. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Are you freaking kidding me, for probably an appointment that could last 30, maybe 30 minutes, maybe? I'm like, what? 27 forms. 27. It took me 2 days to fill it out, but I had to pace myself because I know that I'm in a place where the reason why I need this appointment is because I can't focus. I'm not feeling fabulous all the time. I can't show up like I want to show up. And so I need help to do that. So I'm enlisting a new supporter. But in order to do that, 27 fucking pages of forms. I'm like, this is why people don't get help. 27 pages. But my body is worth every second, every minute of investment that I make in filling out those forms so that my mental health can support my physical health because it's affecting it. And that's what happens for you. Your mind's choices affects your body. It affects your body. I know. I'm proof of that. I am proof of that. I am proof of that. Do you know that the point at which my heart is connected to my aorta was shredded? Shredded. I literally had so much stress over a course of about a 2-year time period and was so intensely overloaded that I was so detached to it, like just numb, I didn't even notice. I had no idea. I ignored all the symptoms. The severe weight loss, the depression. I just thought, "Oh, it's mental health, it's mental health." My body was doing things like, I mean, crazy to try to get my attention, and I'm just like, "Oh, it's just stress, it's just stress." Like, stress is no big deal. No, it almost killed me. It almost killed me. I don't want that to happen to you. It doesn't have to happen to you. Okay? So our team, our body is such an important part of this team. So is our heart, so is our soul, so is our mind. The mind is not the bad guy. I'm giving it a bad time right now because it is bossy. It is bossy and it thinks it knows it all. And I know because my mind does that too. I'm like, I think I know it all. I'm sure that's how I sound to my kids. You too? Okay, so we used some sage. That's what we used. And we had a little smoke there to help honor what the energy is coming through for us is to let us clean things up a little bit, soften some of our resistance. It's like out with the old and in with the new. I literally feel like it's New Year's Eve right now, kind of. That's the kind of vibe I get. Like this is the ending of something and then the beginning of something. And it could linger. This energy field could linger for, it looks like about 3 days from now, like Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably by Wednesday, it'll clear. But it definitely, for me personally, was worse leading up to it. And so be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself as much as possible. Okay. So we're going to use some other things. I mentioned I brought some oils. We're going to use those two together. Okay. I need to grab a tissue because my nose is running. My body is clearing. Woo! Hey, nice to see you. Where are you guys at? Can you put in the chat where you're at? And then I'll try to read the chat here in a bit. This headache is nagging me. I picked up a card deck. Did you notice that in the beginning of our conversation today? And I was kind of playing with it a little bit or, working with it. I'm going to share the card that flipped up right away for us. And you won't be surprised. I used this deck because it's so grounding. Again, super important to do things that connect us to Earth because Earth is about our human life, our experience. You want to manifest, you need to be connected to your body. You want to manifest, you need to be connected to the Earth. You want to manifest, you got to be here now. And it's been hard. I'm going to tell you. My spirit is like, I don't want to be in that body. My body's had ups and downs this week as far as like actual medical health, and some of you know that I was supposed to travel. I'll talk to you about that a little bit. Okay, so this is the card deck. I shared that I got this one. Look at that. Catherine Mallard, the Medicine Woman deck. I got this one for my work in my new little program. It's not little and it's a big deal, but my program that I'm doing for my self-development, my earthy connection to connect me deeper into earth, into my body, doing my embodiment work. Now that my body's new, like my friend said, you basically have a new heart. Like your body is like it's been all tuned up in there. I'm like, oh, my engine's been rebuilt. I'm like, well, I got to do a couple more things, but pretty much, right? So, from the Medicine Woman deck, here is the card that I got when we first started out our conversation. Remember, the topic is tailgating on the eclipse energies, connecting to the eclipse energies. But I feel like our theme is team. Okay. Teams, like in the energy of being connected. Okay. Connected to yourself, body, mind, heart, and soul here on Above Life channel, and connected to community, which is here. This is a community. I have thought so many times, I have really contemplated how best to connect. And if you look at my website now, you'll see a place to sign up for an email scenario where I can send something out every month to talk to you about stuff, or I can send you something extra. I'm not going to send a bunch of stuff, just like once a month. It'll probably be in the middle of the month actually, because I want to kind of tap into things and feel stuff. But so there's a place for that, but that's not as intimate as I'd like it to be, as interconnected. So I've thought about doing like a Facebook group or a Discord or something like that. I've toyed with that idea. I'm pondering it. I'm not sure. I don't think I have the energy to do it anytime in the near future, but I've thought about that. So in the meantime, for you, I really hope that you will seek out other places like um, Mighty Networks, for example, um, and not just Facebook. There's other places like Discords and Mighty Networks, and there's other places that you can connect socially in a way that, or learning, in a learning environment as well. So common interest stuff, like people like cooking, they do this. People like books, they do this, that kind of thing. All right. So the card I got was the Circle of Life. Hmm. Yeah. And she is very connected to the ground, to the earth. Look at that. She is open to the earth. The metaphysical energy of the masculine and feminine, connecting that energy to the earth, reaching up to the sky, touching down, reaching down to the land, that heart and that soul in between, and the whole galaxy and universe within. The circle of life. One of the things that the energy of the eclipse is showing us right now, and this time in general, is the patterns. That's one of the things that's been coming up in my private channeling that I've been doing with my ancestors, is the patterns, the patterns, the patterns. And it's fascinating. And also like, what? Really? Wow. Like it seems so, like once you see it, it's like you can't not see it and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so basic." But it's complicated because we have so much resistance and clouds of resistance that keep us from what is really true for us and what is our medicine in this moment. And in order to receive that, in order to accept that, in order to even know that it even exists, we've got to be in a place of alignment, body, mind, heart, and soul, have an acknowledgement of ourselves, us as spiritual, soulful beings, and as human beings and contributors. Okay, we contribute energetically. So if we're in a pissy ass mood, so too are everybody around us. You are like the rays of the sun and you are toxic. And I get like that. I've been like that online. I've been toxic at times. It happens because we're human. But when we step into our alignment and are in our awareness, then we can make conscious choices, right? The circle of life energy. Okay, so I said we're going to do some oil. Okay, so I have a courage oil. This one's really good for your feet, by the way, to put on your feet to walk in courage. Maybe I'll use this one. on my feet. This is from the emeraldtempleoils.com. Emeraldtempleoils.com. This is actually this woman that curates these. She is such a priestess, such a divine feminine treasure. She is someone that I have worked with and learned from. She has a program for anointing, for the sacred art of anointing, like literally like the miraphors, like not just the death rites or the birth rites or the doula stuff, but for the whole life scenario and for the ancient wisdom. Oh, just beautiful the way that these are curated. So, courage oil. This is for the root chakra, the base chakra. It smells like fire, a little bit like a campfire or wood that's been burned a little bit. Some people don't like that scent. There's probably a reason for it. Okay, I'm going to put it right on the bottom of my feet. It might be because fire is intense. It is. Yeah, that solar energy, oh, it can be intense. It can be, but anything can be intense. I'm putting it on my other foot. Anything can be intense if it's overused, right? You got to know how to use it. And you got to ask permission. Ooh, good. It smells good. Actually, this has a different scent right now to me. I'm picking up on some of the cedar that's in there, but it's more grounding. It feels more earthy. It doesn't feel so fiery. Ooh, so courage oil coming in. Nice breath in. Right up through that root chakra. Ooh. Going to put it at the base of my spine and my tailbone. All right, so another red oil we're going to use is Release. Anybody can buy these oils. These are large bottles. They are not cheap because they're not cheap. They're incredibly sacred. Like this is a really big deal. Like I did a whole year study learning how to utilize these in the proper way, in the honorable way, in the ancient ways. Okay, so it's very sacred, very sacred. Again, Emerald Temple oils. See, Emerald Temples. This is a Release. This is one of my favorites. My very favorite is the Priestess oil, and then the Release is probably a close second. My third favorite has been the Honor oil, which is a solar plexus oil. I can show you. I don't think I have that one down here, actually. This smells so sweet. This is a good one for when somebody is transitioning, whether you're changing jobs or you're having a baby or someone is letting go of their life force. You can use this for pets. When they're transitioning, you can anoint them. You got to be careful with pets and with people with the type of with oils because they can be toxic. Like again, if you overuse them or don't use them properly, they can be toxic. Make sure you understand that and what makes up this oil that's called Release. There are several other oils in it. Make sure you read the list, and that will come if you purchase them. She's out in San Francisco Bay Area. Okay, I'm going to put this in my low back. I'm actually going to put it in my belt line because that feels like the right place for it to go. I'm just going to breathe in and exhale out. You can just activate this by touching your back and letting the energy of release go into the body and move right into wherever it's needed, or just to acknowledge the support that you have, envisioning at the base of your tailbone there, a triangle pointing downward like a tail or an anchor, letting it drop right into the earth. Just let it drop right into the earth. Yep. Just drop that anchor in, not to keep you stuck. Don't be scared of that. It's lightweight. It's flexible and movable, but it taps into the earth and it goes, oh, yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That feels nice. I feel connected. I'm on Team Earth. Here I am in my own special spot. And then with that alignment, I can breathe up and then roar that nice, beautiful pranic tube, that spinal column, nice connection right there. Yeah, feels really good, doesn't it? If you have any kind of energy in your heart space that is bothering you, feels a little heavy, feels a little sad, you can touch your heart. You can breathe that energy right into that heart space. You can tap on that space. You can actually use a physical tapping technique where you just tap on your collarbone. You can tap over the top of your clothing. It's no big deal. EFT tapping is a way to calm the nervous system. I love tapping. Yeah, the tapping solution on YouTube, thetappingsolution.com is a resource for you there. If you have anxiety, this calms the energy. And I want to touch my skin when I'm doing it, so probably because I also have the release oil. I have to be careful on this side because I have that metal that sticks out and I'm gonna have to work with that a little bit. Nice breath in. And a calming, soothing, flowing exhale out. There you go. Nice. Look at that. The courage to release. And it's effortless. There's no efforting here. There's no efforting here. No efforting. This is becoming really mellow. So I also have the archetype of the Queen of Death, the skeleton woman in Women Who Mourn with Wolves. But I am not going to use it here with us collectively in our team because it doesn't feel in alignment for everyone. It doesn't. And it might be because I'm just going to hold it in my hands because for me, it's very applicable. It might be because the grief energy is very new for some. The levity of the grief might be new, or the length of time you've been grieving. So the longevity of it is becoming too familiar. So with that, I'd love to ask permission for your healing team, your highest self, the energy of God, Goddess, Creator, Source, Universe, and Cosmic Consciousness, whatever you are personally in alignment with, to help to give you awareness, allowance, if it is in alignment for you, to have the courage as you are connected to the earth to release, to soften and release some of the pain points that you've been holding, some of the places where there is a coldness, an empty space, or maybe a spot that just doesn't see much daylight. Permission to release that space into the light, into the energy of a fresh new day. Nice breath in. As if you're opening a window. Yeah, a window in that heart space to allow the goodness of what is here to be present, to show up in your life, to allow that, to release or soften the fear that has been there all along, trying to protect you during the time of grief. And grief isn't just from a physical death. There are so many levels and layers to death and change and transformation and transition, and even good things have grief with them. A move, even good things have grief with them. Nice breath in. Exhaling out. I'm going to share a resource here right now that I discovered, the Conscious Dying Collective. The Conscious Dying Collective. They're on Facebook. I don't think I've seen them on I haven't seen them on TikTok or YouTube, I don't think. The Conscious Dying Collective, and they have support groups, online grief groups, and they actually have one tonight, and it's I think it's free actually. Check them out though, the Conscious Dying Collective. It's like, dying with dignity. There's some death doula stuff in there, but there's also this recognition of grief and this honoring of that process and whatever it is for your life. It doesn't have to be the death of a person or a pet or something like that. It could be a massive change in your life where you have to grieve who you were before. Like me, I mean, I have some of that I probably have to start to unpack, you know? So the Conscious Dying Collective, that's just a resource. It might fit for you. So check it out. Okay. All right. Well, I said we were going to have some fun. Well, so much fun that was. So much fun. I am going to share with you, though, that today is my youngest son, my 15-year-old. It's his birthday. Birthday. So I've been running around like a crazy person trying to get everything ready. And now I have to go and do the birthday thing. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, it's his 15th birthday today. Yeah, 11:58 a.m. Thank you very much. I was having my last child. Oh, that was a lot of work. So that's what I remember about that. But anyway, we're not talking about that. I don't remember that. That part of my life is done. But it is kind of fun to have birthdays, especially, the Dairy Queen ice cream cake thing. That's kind of fun. But so that I'm gonna do that today. So I have that going on. So I do have some uplifting, kind of positive, fun stuff to do. I hope you guys do as well. I'm feeling so chill right now. I can't even get myself to be like, woohoo, yay, party. I feel like, ooh, so mellow. Connecting in with the chat. I just want to say hello to everybody. Okay, Nancy P. Hello, Temple. Hey, I'm going to call you JC because I'm not sure. Jacinthy, Trumpy, Barbara. Hi, Gail. Oh, hey, Gail. Yeah, I saw you earlier pop in. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you're watching this after the eclipse has passed, there's a lot of good insights in here, I think. There's some good energy coming through. Hi, Jeannie. Nice to see you, Jeannie. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hey, Dreamy Jeannie. Oh, Jackie's here as well. Hello, Jackie. Will this affect my animals? That's interesting. I think all spiritual energy affects our dogs and cats for sure, and horses and chickens and all sorts of stuff. Yes. Will it affect them? Yes. Yes. How it will affect them or what a big deal if you'll notice, I don't know. It really depends, I guess. It really depends, but yes. Especially I think the animals that are closer to us feel us. So they're going to feel it, you know? That's what I think. That's what I think. So, all right. Okay, my lovies, I'm going to bug on out of here now. And I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something I'm missing. What am I missing? I know I need to get upstairs, get stuff, because we got to do presents and stuff. Maybe we can do one more card. We started with the Circle of Life card, and let's see what card we end with. We wrap with... I like this deck. It's so grounding. Like I said, I'm not going to do a card that's not grounding for us. I did bring my rattle in, but I thought it might be too crazy to come rolling in with my rattle. You've seen here on Above Life channel, you've seen my singing bowl. We have 5 or 6 of them. The one that's in my office right now that I just love. Oops, it has a candle in it right now. I just put a candle in it. Oops, here we go. What we got? Oh, we got 2 cards. Okay, so we have 2. So pick a number, 1 or number 2. Number 1 or number 2. Number 1 or number 2. This will be one that's more geared towards you. Okay, everybody got the circle of life for us as a team. So number 1 or number 2? Number 1, I am all on board with number 1 because it was face up for me. So that's what I'm at. So if you're in the chat, pick a number 1 or number 2. Number 1 or number 2. I'll do a little bit more smoke for us here. A little bit more sage energy coming through. There you go. You just need a little. Little goes a long way, my dears. You don't want to like smoke yourself out and be like, oh, you don't want to do that. Plus, there's a myth about sage. So sage actually can attract spirit. So if you want to attract spirit, you can be burning stuff. It's so funny when people are like, oh, I'm getting rid of spirit. I'm like, okay, sure. Whatever your intention is, I guess. To each their own. I don't know. All right, so here we go. Nice. All right. Okay. So number 1, this is very interesting. It says, okay, I like this one because it has a bear in it. And one of my new spiritual tools has a bear on it. So I feel very connected to the bear energy. And this one is showing me, I'm getting some vibes here of the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and a rooted energy. The bear is a protector. The bear is divine feminine for me. But the card says the male principle. Interesting. A step towards reconciling with the masculine. Interesting. So it's like the matriarchy, patriarchy thing kind of coming together. That's probably why the bear is behind the energy of the person, the identity of the person. So it's bringing the parts of us together, right? It's like the solar sun energy and the lunar feminine energy. Okay, the solar sun energy is masculine. The lunar energy, moon, is feminine. So it's a balance. So this is the masculine principle, giving a nod to the sun and the solar energy. So too with the yellow solar plexus, and this color is red. It's hard to see on here, but it's actually red. It probably comes out orange, but it's red. So it's grounding the solar energy with the feminine energy, bringing that masculine, that sun, receiving it. That's how it feels, the male principle. Number 31, if you're into numbers. All right, number 2, if you chose number 2, this card's gorgeous. This card says summer. So that next big situation we got going down is that what? So that solstice vibe. So I think I see another energy nod toward that solar again, that summer solstice, the summer solstice, waking up, more light, activity. All right. So it says a time for blooming, celebrating your success. Okay. So this is a beautiful energy, lots of red. She's got lots of red, a little bit of fuchsia. There's yellow in the background connected to green. So here's a yellow again, another nod to solar energy and solar plexus. It's a little bit darker. Okay. But I feel like that's because the bottom is actually green. It's hard to tell. The colors aren't coming through quite right here, but this is green on the bottom, which is your heart space. So your heart and your soul working together, the heart and the soul working together. And that red energy that she's got, again, it shows up orange, but this is actually a red. The card is red. That is a root chakra. So it's grounding you to the earth. Okay, so we're connected to the earth. And this is like the cycles of the earth, right? We're moving through the cycles of the seasons. So right now we're in springtime here where I'm at, okay, in the United States. And then we're moving into that summer energy. Remember when I said about patterns and cycles? Yeah, we're in that space. And summer is a time for like newness. It's a time for energies recharge. It's time to come out of your shell. It's a time to try new things. It's a time to travel and get out of your house, kind of a thing. Get out of your shell. I'll say that again. All right. Interesting how here you can see the hands of the person. They're open and ready. The hands here are kind of hidden, they're tucked in. They're tucked in. This tells me they're confident, but they're a bit shy to reveal or a bit shy to fully be able to both give and receive. So there's a little bit of a feeling in this card, I think, of a hesitation. Somebody's got that. I can feel that. A little bit of a hesitation. You might be working on your healing stuff and you're just not sure. Or you might be a little shy to try something again because you felt like you've been burned. So you're just very stoic and you're standing your ground, you're honoring who you are, you're in alignment, and you're just observing. You're being a compassionate observer. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay. Well, that was good stuff. Lots of good stuff. All right, my friends. All right. I hope I've inspired your spirit today and filled you with hope as we've been doing some tailgating for the eclipse. Thank you so much for being here on Above Life channel. I would love to see you again on our Sunday Morning Coffee podcast next week on the 14th. I'd also like to see you in some of the groups that I'm doing coming up. I'm going to be doing the Inspiring Psychic Experience. Take a look at when the next one is scheduled. I'm also doing a Twin Flame group as well. I have openings in my schedule for private intuitive life and energy coaching sessions. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, this is your life, my dear friends. This is your life, and you get to live it. So just live it. Go team Above Life channel. Yeah.